Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this video finds you, I hope you're having a rad time. I'm the Figure Dude, and on today's Work in Progress Wednesday, we have the AEW champion, Swerve Strickland. Without further ado, let's talk about some figures. Dude. Welcome back, and how dare I before we even begin here, I said we've got Swerve, and I completely neglected his fantastic manager Prince Nana right beside him. Picked up both of these head sculpts from Headeration. I was excited to get a long the pulled back hair with Swerve here. I had the Mattel sculpt, so this one's got the hair that is pulled back. Obviously it's going to be shaved on the sides, and he's got kind of that scowl, which I think is better than both Jazzwares and Mattel. They just gave us the plain dreads with a kind of straight faces. Maybe there's a little bit of the snarl on the Jazzwares scan, but this one is different enough. I wanted to make another one, so gonna go a different route. If you saw the other custom I made with Swerve, I used an Ultimate Edition Mr. T torso, which I thought it was fine, but I kind of mess around with the formula this time and find something different. So what I'm going to do is go with the Apollo Crews, and this one I liked it because the his stomach kind of the lower abs here kind of stick out more, and I feel like that's kind of what Swerve's body looks like. He's not super built. He doesn't have that triangle kind of build necessarily, and I feel like it's captured a little bit better in this. I've seen people use the Kofi Kingston torso. I don't think that's a bad choice. That was my other option, honestly. I've seen people use about every torso for Swerve, so I figured I'd go with this one, change things up a little bit. As far as the legs go, we've got the Mr. T lowers. We've got, obviously, those are Christian upper legs. And then the attire we're going to be doing is going to be the Black Panther attire from when he just recently won the AEW championship. And as of recording, he is still holding on to the belt. I think this weekend is Double or Nothing, and he's fighting Christian. So I don't think Christian's about to beat him for the title. And if he is, I'm going to be pretty effing mad, because I'm a big Swerve fan. I was excited to see him get the belt. But then we've got Prince Nana over here. So the body I'm using is going to be from the custom Commissioner Shawn Michaels I had done. Since we're getting a Commissioner Shawn in the Monday Night Wars line, I figured don't need this anymore. So I'm going to change the shoes. He typically wears Jordans. So I'm not sure exactly what shoes I'm going to give him, what shoe mold. I might give him the John Cena. John Cena has two kinds of shoes currently. So we'll see. I'll try a few different things, see what I'm happy with. But then I just got to paint up the head, paint the neck, obviously. I might paint the torso on him. Is currently a gray color, which I he wears plenty of different combinations. So really with him, it's just, painting up the head, which again, this one is from Headeration as well. I'm excited to get to these guys. Let's go. All right, time to get cracking on our Swerve here, and since I've started using the Vallejo paint, I have to do way less layers. The coverage for this is way better, so if you haven't heard me already talk about it, I switched from apple barrel paint that I just get at Walmart to Vallejo, and for the most part, I use that as much as I can. I don't mix and mix together paints as much with the Vallejo because the bottles are smaller, and even though the coverage is a lot better, I just don't want to use a ton of it, trying to figure out mixes. So every now and then I'll use the old stuff, for head sculpts and skin tones. I've got those mixes down pretty well, so I stick with that. But as much as I can, especially with the black paint, I use the Vallejo, and I just get that off Amazon. So decals wise here, we've got a bunch. So we've got all the tattoos, and then we've got the tights design. So this tights design is his Black Panther look that he just had. I think it was at AEW Dynasty when he beat Joe for the title. So I wanted to do that attire. He did just wear a cool Warriors inspired attire, and not Golden State Warriors. If you have not seen the movie from, I think, the 80s, The Warriors, it's about a bunch of gangs that are all we could talk about that another day. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's an awesome movie. With the head sculpt here, just got to paint the hair. The fade, I'm going to just do a little bit on the sides, which I'll show you at the end, like once it's all wrapped up. And then with Nana, we're going to get as much as we can here. I'm just going to do the black, and then I'll go back in with the details. It's just hard to get on camera. I had to get real close up to it, so. Here we go. Here is the finished product for my Swerve and Prince Nana. And I know I didn't really have a ton of stuff on the time-lapse for Prince Nana. A lot of his, like, it is pretty much just the head sculpt. I had to get that done. And the details on his head wrap were really hard to get with the camera, like, causing a shadow. Because the sculpt is in there, in the, like, the symbols, I guess whatever they are, on the head wrap are in there, and like I just had to paint on them, but it was really hard because they were so tiny, so I had to get it pretty close, and the shadow from my phone even was making that pretty difficult. So I did that off screen, and then like I pretty much always do like the small stuff, like the eyes, teeth and stuff. I do as much as I can on camera, but it was just a little more difficult today. So with him, I love it. I did change the shoes, so I put the like Usos sneakers onto him from their elites, not from their Ultimate Edition, because he wears like basketball shoes. He wears Jordans a lot, but we don't have a good mold from Mattel for that, so just went with those so that he wasn't in the plain dress shoes. And then Swerve, obviously, he took up most of what you were seeing in the time lapse, so got all the decals on there. I like this way more than my Ultimate Edition. I think this body looks better. I know part of the reason I used the cabs that I did on that Swerve is just because they were already gray. And I'll show you here in a second. I'll get Nana out of the way, just put both my Swerves on. But this head sculpt too is such a huge upgrade from the Mattel one, and the Jazzwares one too I think is pretty good. Maybe I'll grab that. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe we'll just like post some comparison pictures up onto Instagram or something, but I don't know. The Swerve, so back to that, the wrist tape, I love how that came out. I think the like spiraled wrist tape looks exactly how he wears it. Just everything about it, I'm really happy with how it turned out. I didn't necessarily know if it was going to be an upgrade, but I wanted to make another one with this head sculpt. So overall, really happy with how it turned out. I really like how the fade turned out. For Swerve's hair, I think the face, I think the likeness is fantastic. Gosh, I don't even know what else I'm trying to say. I'm gonna get these guys off the stand. I'm gonna go grab my other Swerves here and just compare those. So there we have it. There are my 3 Swerves in my collection, and they're all just so different. The Jazzwares, I think his skin tone is too light, which is always an issue. Jazzwares in general, just like their skin tones are very inconsistent, but I think that Swerve is too light for them. My Swerve in the middle, I don't know. I guess you guys can let me know which you think one is the most accurate. It's hard for me not to just say the middle one because I think that likeness is the best. I just don't think Jazzwares or Mattel really nailed the likeness for Swerve. They just, like, those two don't really look like him, I don't think. And I don't think if you compare them to each other, they look like the same person. But I think in the middle, I think Hederation nailed it right there. And he's got multiple versions of that likeness, like with different hair, so that you could put it on your Jazzwares or your Mattel. Like, they just made the basic. But there we have it. I've got a Jazzwares figure, I've got an Elite, and I have an Ultimate Edition, as well as Prince Nana in the background there. But that is it. That's going to wrap everything up for Work in Progress Wednesday. If you like what we're doing here, if you have some suggestions, go ahead, throw it in the comments, subscribe to the channel. Please continue to like, share, subscribe, and remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy more action figures. Figure Dude out.